Hey party people, I'm Kelly.
And I'm Bean.
And we're Kelly Beans Bees. We're second-year beekeepers here in Central Virginia, and today we are out at the turkey house. We are going through the unnamed hives that
Let's
we
give
have.
these things names right now. What did we have? Give me two of those suggestions.
Oh,
Go.
there were cheeses. It was
Yeah.
Gouda was one.
Okay.
And all I'm thinking is Asiago because we had that in our bread today.
Great. Those are the names. Sorry if we missed one that somebody said. All right. Which one is which? This one I think I'm feeling Gouda.
Gouda.
Are you feeling Gouda?
Yeah, I think that's
All right.
Gouda.
This is now the Gouda hive, and that's the Asiago hive.
Okay, I like it.
Really, you know, a little hard to pronounce names. Not hard to pronounce.
Not really.
But they're more interesting than like cheddar. So.
Okay. Also, June is dairy month, so
Yeah,
we have that going
happy
for
June.
us. Yeah.
So we went on vacation to Florida. My parents live in Florida. We went down there for about a week and a half. So we're just now getting back out to checking on the bees. So it's been about 2 weeks since we've been out to see these hives. So let's see what they're looking like.
Yeah. So
We are up in the top super
Yeah.
on the Gouda hive. We put the super on about 3 weeks ago, and we've been waiting for them to start filling it, start drawing it out. We don't have a queen excluder in yet because they hadn't really done anything the last time we were out here, and we were trying to restrict them as little as possible.
yeah.
So I've gone through these outside frames, not a whole lot's happening, but this frame here, the fourth one in from the edge,
And if you're wondering, you're like, breeding can't count. That's 3. The 4th one's down on the ground.
it is drawn out and filled with nectar.
Let us see. Look how pretty it is. So these frames, what is this called? The
Medium frames?
inside. No, the inside's part.
Oh, foundation.
Foundation is yellow. So that's a little bit different than our normal black. So hopefully you can see. But it's a really pretty white color.
And
wax.
these are yellow because while they're up in the supers, they shouldn't really get any eggs in them. So it doesn't matter if your foundation's black, yellow, or any different color.
Yeah.
Black just lets you see the eggs a little bit better. So that frame's looking pretty good. They're starting to draw out that one. This next one,
Starting to get some honey.
it's pretty much
there.
fully drawn. And as she said, you can see that they're capping that honey up there. That white wax right across the top, that's honey. All the rest is still technically nectar at this point that they're dehydrating. But they're bringing in honey. Or I should say they're bringing in nectar and dehydrating it into honey. But this is a good sign.
What we like to see.
Last year, we harvested 3 frames of honey and got about a gallon.
Yeah, at
So-
the very end of July.
Seeing as we've already got this, we're going to get quite a bit more honey this year. So stay tuned if you're in the area and want to buy some, because we're planning to sell it this year.
Yes, and you saw that we bought an extractor, so
Yep, so hopefully we've got a lot of frames to put in there.
hopefully
This
more
hive
than
is
3.
looking really good. They haven't put any brood up here, which I'm happy to see, because as I said, we didn't put an excluder on this because we wanted them to be able to get up here and really work it.
So we will be putting one on it though, right?
Potentially. I want to see what they look like down below, because the queen excluder can restrict the movement a little bit. They're more likely to use it once it's actually been drawn out like this, so I don't have a big problem with putting one on. But if you also have a lot of honey in the top of your
I
second
think we
deep,
kind of did,
then
if I remember right.
the queen doesn't like to cross that to get up here. So they'll continue to store their honey up here. And on the other hand, we don't have any kind of upper entrance, so the airflow up to here is less than it is down here. And because of that, they'll want to keep their brood next to the entrance so that they can keep that at a certain temperature. Because if the brood goes too hot or too cold, you'll end up killing the brood. And then what's the point of raising brood if they all die? So the bees know that, and they'll keep their brood closer down to the bottom.
Okay.
We'll see what I see in the next box. That deep is going to kind of determine what
it.
I do.
Okay.
It's probably not a big deal either way, but we'll see.
Show us the honey. Oh, and this one's just being drawn out.
Yep. But this thing's full of nectar, which is great to see.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, that's promising.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
5
frames that they've been working on really hard.
They haven't touched these.
They have touched this one.
This side
Very
has,
barely, but...
Yeah, this side has nothing.
So yeah, these bees are doing a great job drawing all this out.
Blessings.
And filling it, for that matter.
Yeah.
So, again, if you don't know the difference between a super, brood box, that sort of thing, if you're kind of new to all this,
You can look at size as one, but
The super we've put on the top here.
it's a medium box.
And this is where we will take honey out of. All we're hoping for is honey in this box. That's why you would put something here to exclude the queen so that she wouldn't put any eggs in it. And any honey that they store above this line here, that's all ours to take. Everything below, they'll need that for winter. We're not going to touch it. But any more than that, they should be completely fine without. So that's how we're able to take honey off the hives and not take away from the bees, by knowing how much they need to get through the winter and taking any excess.
Perfect. All right. We're also fingers crossing that my phone doesn't overheat. There's no shade here.
That is a good point.
I'm trying to, well, I didn't really get in the shade. I backed up to show the whole look, but I thought I was getting in the shade, but not really. All right. The smoker's behind you now.
Yeah.
So we
bees
moved
aren't
the
looking
smoker
super
because it was smoking us out.
active.
Huh?
They're not looking like they're really going to come for us. They seem pretty chill, but I'll smoke them down a little bit just to get them out of the way as I'm moving the frames.
He said that. Now I'm surrounded.
Well, I did smoke them down.
Alright, so these things beans sticking up, if you don't know, are hive beetle traps. We just put regular cooking oil that you buy in the grocery store on the cooking aisle in them, and that's wax on the bottom, but they should hopefully catch some beetles.
I see one beetle down in the bottom. I don't know if you can tell. I think there's
see.
wax on that side.
Maybe. It's kind of like a brownish in the middle.
Yep.
Okay.
But hive beetles in this mean hive beetles not in the hive anymore.
Yeah. So the bees will kind of run them into that. And then the bees can't get through these little holes, but the beetles can. So then they fall in and they drown.
Yep, they can't get out.
Yeah. So we have those on all of the hives, not in the honey supers, but in the brood boxes. This side has honey.
The beetles like to go for pollens. It's a good source of protein. It's the same reason
Look at
the
this,
bees use it.
everybody.
And so that's why they
Wow.
tend to be down here.
100% beautiful.
Yeah, that's a really nice frame of honey.
Wow.
I'm going to get a good shot of that, so maybe we could get that for the thumbnail.
Yeah, hold on one second. Smile with it. Okay, and great.
Wonderful. So this other side they have started to draw out.
Oh, nice.
Not really a big deal. We run 10 frame boxes.
No big deal. Some people run 8.
Yes. And 10 frame boxes, a lot of times the bees don't really worry about the 2 outside frames. They're good to be there just so that the bees have the space if they need it. But the outside frames are there, as I said, if they need it, but not actually 100% needed all the time. So if they're not drawing it out, I'm not worried about it.
Honey, almost whole side.
Yep. Same with mine.
Oh, yours is nicer. Are you getting that coat?
I am indeed.
Sorry,
Oh, did you
the
get some
smoke's
smoke?
getting me. Sorry, everybody. I'm sure that sounds great. Really cute. Nice.
Yeah, one thing that you kind of have to watch out for while you're keeping bees, if you're using a smoker, is you don't really want to breathe in the smoke all that much.
But it'll get you.
Yeah, the wind will shift no matter where you put it. So you try to keep it somewhere convenient, but also somewhere where it's not going to get on you constantly.
Yeah, and pine needles, we live in the forest. This side has some brood on it. We live in the forest, so we get pine needles because they're for free. But pine needles, burning pine needles, just sometimes it hits you the wrong way.
They don't smell bad. Like, we've had to burn leaves before.
It smells better than leaves. Leaves burning smells like death. Like, no thank you. If you want someone to really feel unpleasant in the smell that you're giving off, burn leaves.
So yes, as Kelly said, that's a really nice frame. It's got a ton of honey capped. It's got brood there. And what I was talking about with having honey stopping the queen from going over it, we've got all this honey up around here, and it's coming all the way down, almost halfway down the frame, I'd say.
Uh-huh.
That is a big barrier for the queen. She's not really going to want to move up over that. Because once they cap honey up over the brood box, the queen says, well, that's kind of the end of the brood box, and now we're just storing honey. So she doesn't go above that. And that's why we didn't see any brooder eggs in our honey super, even though we don't have a queen excluder on.
Yeah.
Because they're storing so much honey here that the queen says, I don't need to go up there. It's not a problem.
We last year at the pumpkin patch definitely had some in the top.
Yes.
Some eggs.
Yep.
We didn't have this much honey down in the bottom for sure.
You don't really want to continuously run brood through your honey supers. It can make the comb a lot darker, and
who
it's
wants to eat
inconvenient.
babies?
Right, it's inconvenient because you have to somehow either wait for, thank you, you have to wait for the brood to hatch out so that you can harvest the honey, or somehow try to separate the brood from the honey, which is not really an easy task. I wouldn't really want to try it. And so, because of that, it's just easier to run a queen excluder or make sure that they're not going to do this. But if you get a little bit of brood up there, just to like, as we said, we like to not run a queen excluder while we're trying to get that comb originally drawn, because the bees don't want to go up through that restriction as much as nothing.
Yeah.
When you just have foundation above bees, they don't really see that as space they can use.
It's a blank space, baby.
Right, they just see that as an open gap, not somewhere they can store resources, because it's not.
Yeah. All right.
So,
oh, sorry.
And so, if we let them get up easier, then they're more likely to actually get up there and draw a comb, instead of just saying, we don't need to use that. That's not actually anything we need.
Yeah. All right. I was going to ask your thoughts on this. You're already at an 11.5 minute mark.
You know what? I think that's a pretty good spot to end it off for now, because that's effectively, we're just showing them how much honey this hive has been storing, how productive they've been.
They have been good little bees.
They have been wonderful.
This is probably our most,
yeah,
progressive hive, I feel.
This is, even with last year, we had cookie dough. Rest in peace.
Yeah. Long live cookie dough.
We had cookie dough, who we lost over the winter, but that queen in that hive did really well. They drew out combs quickly. They stored honey. That's what we got honey off of last year. This hive is doing way better than that one ever did.
They've definitely progressed a lot quicker.
Yes, they have.
So, it's neat to see.
Yep. So, we are going to let you go. I hope you enjoyed this look at how much honey these bees are storing, and I hope that you're starting to get excited, because I know I am.
Yeah.
Soon.
I'm getting excited, but I'm also like, we have to buy jars immediately.
Yes, we've got some things to work out. Jars and labels and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, because we're hoping to sell it, so we have to label it well for you.
Right.
Know?
So, as I said earlier in the video, keep a lookout. We will put on Facebook and probably do a video on YouTube whenever we are going to start selling it.
Yeah.
And reach out to us if you're looking for honey in the area.
Yeah, and don't wait, because we have a lot of people that have
Yes, we've had quite a
honey.
few people reach out this year and even last year asking when we're going to have honey. So
we hope to sell it quick.
Hopefully we've got a decent amount. It looks like already that we're getting a good amount in. Last year, as Kelly said, we harvested at the end of July. So if we're already getting frames
I was about to say, today's June the 10th,
that are looking good in June, we're on a good track. So tune into the next one. See how the actual inspection of this hive goes. We know they're storing a lot of honey, but are they still producing a lot of bees? Do they have the space they need? How's our queen doing? We've got eggs, but maybe we'll see her. So, come watch the next video. If you like it, stick around. We're kind of cool sometimes. And bees out.
Bees out, y'all.